What I was going to do today actually was focus on the core a little bit. And we did stuff on the glutes the other day because there's this whole thing about snoozy glutes, and it's quite true. Like if you're working from home, you're moving less, and I'm finding that as well. Sometimes you can even get numb bum. So it's quite good to focus on the glutes a little bit when we're doing certain postures, certain asanas. You don't realize that it's actually the glutes that need to be engaging more. But what we'll do is we'll come onto the mat and we'll bring the feet together and the soles of the knees out wide. So that's uncomfortable. Obviously, you can bend the knees towards the sky. And just take a little rock. Just notice the pelvis on the mat. And we're going to try and keep that strong pelvis as well throughout the practice. And you can slowly come to stillness. Place your hands on the belly and just come into your breath for a few moments. You might want to sigh out the first 2 or 3 exhales. And as you breathe in, just feel that belly rise as the ribs press into the hands. Like I say, it's nice to do this bit of breathing every day if you can, just a few moments to slow it all down. You can take the hands around the back if you want. Feel that breath. Just take your focus to the heart and the shoulders and see if you can cultivate that sense of lifting on the inhale and just lowering on the exhale. And just notice how you're feeling right here, right now. Just accepting your body for how it is. Appreciating the little pains and aches that you may be experiencing. Just be mindful. Don't worry if your mind wanders. Just draw it into the breath as many times as you need. Let's take a couple more breaths out. And I want you to slowly draw the knees in towards each other. So take your time and just bring each knee into the chest. Give it a nice little squeeze and a gentle rock from side to side. And as you come to stillness, let's inhale, lift the forehead towards the knees. Start engaging the core a little bit. Exhale to lower. Take 2 more active fingers. And we're going to slowly bring the feet to the mat. Bring the arms to the side. I want you to inhale to lift. Come into your bridge pose. Keep the thighs and the quads nice and active and start engaging the glutes. And let's exhale to lower, inhale to lift. And just run through a few of these in your own breath. Just bring your attention to those glutes. If you want to mix it up, you can have a little go with lifting the legs as we come up. Just up to you if you want to modify it. There's a danger when you lift the leg. You don't lift the hips as much. Just watch that. I know I do it sometimes. Let's keep going. For 3, for 2, for 1, and release. And slowly come back to the mat. And we're going to take the legs up towards the sky. Press the feet into the ceiling as we flex the toes towards the face. Let's open up those hamstrings. Point and flex. And take a few rotations of the ankles. You can mirror it with the hands and the wrists. In both directions. Slowly open the legs out. Take a little rock from side to side. See if you can find that space. Don't force it. And let's slowly draw those legs back in and bring each knee into the chest again. A nice little squeeze and a nice little rock from side to side. I want you to open up for a nice big stretch. And release. And we're going to work on the abs a little bit. If you have a block, or I suppose even if you've just got a cardigan or something, you can shove in between the legs. We'll do that one in a moment. What I want you to do when you're working on the core is feel free to tap the abs to check that they're engaged. Try to keep your back nice and, well, I want you to try and keep a little gap between the lower back and the mat. So you are engaged in the core, which naturally leads that pelvis to rock back a little bit, but don't force it. What we're going to do is we are going to tilt the pelvis towards the mat, and I want you to lift the feet off and lift the head off. And you can do what you want with the hands. You can pistol grip the fingers. You can bring them behind. You can hold a block. It's your choice. And let's hold it here. Just take care of the neck. You can reduce the intensity at any point. We're going to stay here for 3, for 2. Keep breathing. For 1. And release. And bring it in. Take a few breaths. It's good to have a little break between each exercise, especially with the abs. And the next one we're going to do is we're going to bring the hands to the side of the body. You can bring the palms to face the mat. And we're going to bring the legs up in the air. So again, just keep that little gap between the lower back and the mat. So we're going to try and keep a nice natural pelvis, but engage the core. Tap the abs if you want. Bring the hands to the side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to feather the legs like so towards the mat. If you are gripping the mat really hard, then again, just lower that intensity. Take it up and down. So just flow through a few of these. Keep breathing. And let's keep going for 3, for 2, and for 1. All the way down, nice and slow. And rest. That one is a strong one. Just take a few breaths out. And the next one we're going to do in a few moments is we're going to bend the knees and we're going to bring that block or cushion or cardigan or whatever you've got in between the thighs. So let's just take 3 deep breaths before we start. And bring that block between the thighs. And I want you to keep the feet on the mat. Bring the hands either side of the head. So just gently holding the head. Be careful of the neck here, that you're not straining it. And we're going to inhale to lift. And hold. And release. You can mix it up and take that left elbow over to the right. Come back. And over to the left. And come back. Just take 3 more. Wherever you are. Slowly release. Take a few breaths. We're going to do one final abs exercise. And what we're going to do next is we're going to bring the legs out wide. And we're going to let them hover wherever it's comfortable for you. We're going to take circles with the legs. And I want you to take a few in one direction. So you may go inwards. And then take a few in the opposite direction. So don't force anything. Listen to your body. And go. So this is a good one for working the abs on the sides, the obliques. Let's keep going for 3, 2, for 1, and release. And just bring it in and rest. Now I want you to bring the arms out wide as we get ready for our twists. Take 2 deep breaths. You're going to lift the hips up, shift them slightly to the right as we twist over to the left. You can take the gaze wherever it's comfortable for your neck. Take a couple of more breaths. When you're ready, slowly come back to center on the inhale. We're going to bring the arms to the side. Inhale as we lift up into bridge pose. Just hold it here. Feel that nice stretch in the abs. Feel the glutes engaging. Nice big inhale. And exhale to release. Bring the arms out wide. Inhale to lift the hips. Shift it to the left as we twist over to the right. You feel that breath in the left side body. And you want to draw that left shoulder blade towards the mat for a nice big stretch. Take a couple of breaths. Slowly come back on the inhale. Bring the arms to the side and let's come up for another bridge pose. So just be careful you're not pinching too much at the lower back. You can keep it dynamic, engage the inner thigh muscles, draw the legs a little bit towards each other. Let's stay here for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Let's come up for a nice stretch again. And when you're ready, just roll over onto your belly. And we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press the tops of the feet into the mat as we come up for either your up dog or your cobra pose. So whatever you need right now. You can always come onto the forearm. Take a couple of breaths in. When you're ready, tuck the toes under, and I want you to lift up into your tabletop position. So hands spread out nice and wide, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. And let's take our cat-cow breath. So as you inhale, tilt the pelvis towards the mat, draw the belly down, shoulders come into the spine, towards the spine, take the gaze up. Exhale, reverse that motion, draw that belly up towards the ceiling, round the shoulder blades, gaze comes. Just flow through a few of these in your own. Feel free to mix it up a little bit. What you need. Just take a couple more. Slowly come back to your neutral spine. And from here, I just want you to walk the hands towards the body and come to kneeling. So you can tuck the toes if you want to work into the feet, or you can release them at any point. We're just going to inhale as we lift the arms up, take the gaze up. Exhale to lower. Take a few of these. Nice and big. Really feel that length in the upper body as we lift the arms up. Nice. And we're going to lift the hips up to bring them above the knees. Take an inhale as you come all the way up. Take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Just stretch it over to the left. And come up. Switch it over and take it to the other side. Slowly come up. And let's take a few rotations of the ankles, of the wrist, sorry. Take a few shoulder rolls. Both directions. Great. And we're going to bring the hands back to the mat and keep the toes tucked under, lift the hips up, coming into your downward facing dog. Just take a nice few deep breaths here. You can take some lined breaths if you like. If you want to work into the triceps, you can lower the elbows and lift. If you are doing that, try to keep it nice and strong in the back of the body. Try to keep that downward dog structure, as long as it's safe. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands and slowly walk the feet towards the hands. And just come into your ragdoll at the top of the mat. So just shake it out, swing it out, whatever you need. Work into the hamstrings, bend the knees as much as you need to. Just relax the back here. When you're ready, let's slowly start coming all the way up. So lead with the chest. Keep that bend in the knees if you need it. Come all the way up. So just take care here. Let's take the fingers up towards the sky. Come onto the tiptoes if you want. Nice big stretch. And release. And slowly come down. And we're going to come into our Tadasana pose, so mountain pose. So you bring the feet together or keep them apart. Lift the toes up, spread them out as you bring them back to the mat. Just have a little bit more weight towards the heels. Shoulders away from the ears, arms by the side. And nice and tall. Feel that length in the body. We're going to inhale to rise. Exhale to fold forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's step it back to plank. And we're going to hold plank a little bit longer. Breathe in, feel that core engage in. If you feel there's a dip in the hips, you can engage the core to get that lift or drop the knees, whatever you need. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, lower down. Bend those elbows. Chest comes forward. Inhale as we open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. You can do what you need here. Pedal the feet and the knees. Take a deep inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands, step or walk feet to hands. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale to fall. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. Take a few breaths here. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale as we step it back into plank. Now we're going to work into the glute. So what I want you to do is to drop that right knee and bring yourself out into your side plank. So nice straight left leg. You can fan the lower right leg out for support. Bring that left arm up towards the sky. So nice strong right shoulder. And we're going to lift that left leg up and down. And what I want you to see is where you're working. If you're feeling a pain or activity in that leg, I want you to start engaging that left glute a bit more. So tap it if you need to. Just check in on yourself. Let's take 3 more. Slowly release. And I want you to bring that left hand to the mat and bring yourself back into your plank pose. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, let's lower it down. Inhale, open the heart. Downward facing dog. We're going to inhale that right leg in the air. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it towards the nose. And we're going to tap the knee and tap and tap. I want you to engage the core here. And lift. And let's bring the right knee to the right elbow and tap the top of the foot. And lift. Let's take it over to the left elbow. So a nice little twist. Let's open out that right leg and let's come for a nice twist towards the left again. And what I want you to do is slowly lower the hips to the mat. Legs are spread out wide, and we're just going to come into our straddle pose for a few breaths. So support your upper body here. So use the hands if you need. So really feel that space in the legs as well. You can creep it forward if you like. And then inhale as we come all the way up. And we're going to reverse that movement. So bring the right hand back to the right side of the mat. Let's lift up again. And hold it here. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, release that left hand to the mat. Sweep that right leg all the way up for your 3-legged dog. And if you want, you can flow through a 3-legged vinyasa. And we can all meet in downward facing dog. And again, if you want, you can take a few of the elbow drops to work into the triceps. Take a big, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gaze between the hands and slowly walk or float or step the feet to the hands. We're going to inhale for our halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. So just take a few moments here. We're going to do the same sequence on the other side so you have an idea of what to expect. Just again, listen to your body, make any adaptations that you need that are safe. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Let's inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale as you step it back to plank. And we're going to do the side plank thing again. So I want you to drop that left knee, fan it out as you lift that right arm up, twisting over to the right. Keep that left shoulder nice and strong. And we're going to lift that right leg up this time. And just check for the first few, if you're working that leg too much, you want to be engaging that glute. Feel free to tap it. Let's just take 3 more. Ooh. Bring it all the way down. And I want you to bring that right hand to the mat and bring yourself back into your plank pose. Hold it, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, let's lower it down. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale that left leg in the air this time. Bend the left knee, bring it towards the nose. And tap, and tap. Remember to engage the core here. And lift. Just bring it over to the left elbow. And we're going to tap the top of the foot. And lift. And let's take it as a twist over to the right elbow. And I want you to straighten out that left leg. Lift that right arm up. And we just slowly lower the bum to the mat. Legs spread out wide. We're going to come into straddle pose again. So this is a good opportunity to rest the wrists as well. And continue that work into the legs. Into the breath. Because when you do the side planks and the glute stuff, it can be quite strong on the wrist. So really do take care here. When you're ready, I want you to slowly come up. And we're going to reverse that motion. So we're going to bring the left hand behind. Lift yourself back up. Slowly release that right hand to the mat. And we're going to shoot that left leg in the air this time into 3-legged dog. And you can come back into dog, or you can flow through a 3-legged vinyasa. It's your choice. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. And let's take 3 lion breaths here. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands and slowly walk the feet towards the hands. Just come into a ragdoll for a few breaths. Just relax into it. We're going to slowly inhale as we come all the way up. And exhale 2 minutes. And just take a few breaths here. We've got about 7 or 8 minutes to go. So we're going to really just do a little bit standing and slowly come towards the mat. So the next poses I want you to do are a bit of balancing. And I want you to really think about that outward hip when you're in your standing poses to make sure that you're not going out into it, too much. You want to be engaging that glutes, coming back. I want you to press that left foot into the mat. And we're going to bring that right foot to the top of that left thigh. Flex that foot. Bring the hands to heart center and just slowly bend down as if you're sitting down. Work that left glute. Hold it here. We're going to slowly come up. I want you to bring that right knee into the chest. Keep an eye on that left glute. Bring yourself into your warrior three. Again, just keep an eye on that out to hip. Not out too much. Let's slowly come all the way up. Bring that knee into the chest again if you can. And release. And just shake it out. We're going to move to the other side now. So again, you've got to make sure you're not locking out that right hip. Don't force anything. If it's going to hurt you, try not to force anything. But I do want you to be a little bit disciplined in working that glute muscle. It's essentially the gluteus medius, I think it's called. It's that middle one, basically. Okay, so we're going to work the other side. Press that right foot into the mat. Left foot comes over the right thigh. Flex that foot, protect that knee. Hands to heart center. Just come into your imaginary seat for a few moments. As you come up, bring that left knee into the chest and pivot forward. Bring the left leg back, coming into your warrior three. And again, just be mindful of what's happening with the hips. In warrior three, you really want to try and square the hips if your body allows it. Discipline on that right glute. Feel free to tap it, whatever you need to motivate you. And we're going to slowly come all the way up. See if you can bring that right, left knee into the chest. Slowly release. And let's just shake it out. Great. We're going to bring the feet, hip mat distance apart. Bring the hands to heart center as we slowly lower down into our Yogi Squat. Now from here, you can bring the bum straight to the mat, or you can flow through a quick crow pose. So you can bring yourself onto the tippy toes, shift the knees towards the upper arm, so the triceps. Have a go at lifting off, and just take the gaze a little bit ahead of you. It's good to practice this with a pillow if you're scared of face planting. We're going to slowly bring the bum to the mat. And I want you to bring the legs out in front of you, flex the feet, bend the knees if you need. Hands by the side, fingers towards the toes. And inhale, we lift for a few breaths in our Dandasana. Feel that length in the upper body. And one more inhale. And exhale to release. And we're going to come into our butterfly pose. So bring the feet together, knees out wide. We're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen through the upper body. Exhale as we hinge forward. Take a deep breath. And exhale just to let it all go. When you're ready, slowly come up on the inhale. We're going to move into our final Shavasana. So bring the knees in together. And I want you to come onto the forearms first. Feel that space in the upper body. And exhale it all the way down. We're going to be here for about a minute or so. Just going to keep an eye on the time. We're just going to start deepening the breath. I want you to slowly start wiggling the fingers and the toes. Let's rotate the ankles and the wrists in both directions. And we have a nice big stretch. Slowly bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a nice little hug. And in your own time, let's meet in a comfortable cross-legged position, keeping the eyes closed and the face soft. We're going to bring the hands to heart center. And let's end today's practice with our 3 clearing breaths. Let's slowly bring the thumbs up to the third eye. I want to thank you for joining me for today's practice. Thank you for working with me and joining me on this journey over the last few months. And one thing I noticed the other day when we had a yoga class, I forgot to put my do not disturb on my phone. I did find it quite distracting with calls coming through and the phone vibrating. And it really taught me that sometimes you just need to put your do not disturb on once in a while. The inner light in me will always honour the inner light in you. Thank you for today's practice. Thanks so much. That's great. Thank you. Hope that was okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really good.
Brilliant. Thanks. I might do a quick article today if I have a chance, because there's a case that I got a report on it this morning about freehold purchase or whatever and deadlines and stuff. So if I get a chance, I might try, because it's good to do it when it's on the day, isn't it? I'll try my best. But I think that might be better for the website, maybe. I don't know.
I think if it's like an immediate thing where it's just you writing up what the case means, then let's put it on the website. But if you have any thoughts for a longer article, you could just drop a line to Infinite and just say, look, I think this would be a longer article on X, Y, and Z, and they can see if they can get an interest.
All right, cool. That's great. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, brilliant. Thanks a lot, love. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.